Good morning, students. Students, spring is the best season of the year. Being full of color, fragrance, and freshness, it is also a season of renewal and growth. Okay. Similarly, childhood of human life is often uh, compared to spring as it marks the beginning of human life and has a tremendous scope for growth. It is full of joy, pleasure, and play. Okay. In the same way, childhood is a period in which children anywhere in the world remain a source of great joy. Okay. They remain energetic, agile. Okay. And their lives uh, are also full of joy and happiness. Okay. Clear? So the chapter we are going to study today is titled as Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood, written by Anish Jung. Okay, before reading this chapter, let me make you aware a little bit about the author. Okay, it is her picture, it is the picture of Anish Jung. Okay, Anish Jung was born in Hyderabad. Her father, Nawab Hosh Yar Jung, was one of the principal advisors to the uh, l- last reigning Nizam of Hyderabad. She was brought up as a child uh, in strict Parda, but later went on to study at Osamiya University and the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, where she took a master degree in sociology and American studies. Okay, she has been the editor of a magazine, Youth Times, and has written for several of the world's major newspapers. She has also written two books, When a Place Becomes a Person and Poems in Prose. Okay, Anis Jung lives in New Delhi now. As far as her birthplace is concerned, she was born in Raurkela and spent her childhood and adolescence in Hyderabad. Okay, clear? Her parents were both writers. Anis Jung began her career as a writer in India. Okay, she has been an editor and columnist for major newspaper in India and abroad, and has authored several books. The following is an excerpt from her book titled Lost Spring: Stories of Stolen Childhood. Here she analyzes the grinding poverty and traditions which condemn these children to a life of exploitation. Okay, so in this chapter she has tried to describe the grinding poverty, the never-ending poverty, and the tradition of the society that force these children to live a life full of exploitation and harassment. Okay, students, clear? Let us know something about the theme of this poem. The theme of the chapter is the grinding poverty and traditions which condemn poor children to a life of exploitation, as we have earlier read. The two stories taken together depict the plight of street children forced into labor early in life and denied the opportunity of schooling. Okay, you know, uh, this story, this chapter has two parts, and the first part is sometime I find a rupee in the garbage. Is a depiction of miserable life of the poor rag pickers of Simapuri, and the another segment of the chapter is I want to drive a car. That clearly shows the plight of the poor Bengal makers of Firozabad. Okay, students, clear? The callousness of the society and the political class only adds to the suffering of these poor people. The indifferent attitude of society and political class means the bureaucrats, they all play, they all add something more miserable to their lives. Okay, students, so this is the theme of this chapter. Let us go through the first part. Okay, here you can see in this image, what you can see, you can see a rag picker is picking rags, and some rag pickers are picking rags. Okay, even uh, in Delhi, Simapuri, Mongolpuri, and such places, they are they are stuffed with garbage hills. Okay, clear. And these rag pickers have to live under miserable conditions. Okay, let us start the first segment. Sometime I find a rupee in the garbage. Okay, here you can see a rag picker. Seems to be quite happy. Okay, and he is carrying a bag on his shoulder. Okay, and trying to play a flute. Okay, let us read. Why do you do this? I ask Sahib, whom I encounter every morning scrounging for gold in the garbage dumps of my neighborhood. Sahib left his home long ago, sat amidst the green fields of Dhaka. His home is not even in his distant memory. Okay, there were many storms that swept away their fields and home. Okay, and mother tells him, okay, that's why they left looking for gold in the big city where he now lives. Okay, students, let us read its explanation. Okay, before reading the explanation, let me tell you the meaning of difficult words like scrunging. Scrunging means to search, searching for. Okay, clear? um, Garbage dumps, garbage dumps, waste material. Okay, the heap of waste material. Okay, students. Encounter means to meet. Encounter means to meet. Milna. Okay, you can write these meanings. Okay, amids means in the middle of. Okay, clear. So now let us read its explanation. Every morning, the writer sees a young rag picker boy who visits the garbage dumps near her house, and search for gold in it. Gold here stand for the valuable items like coins, bottles, okay, and other things which he can pick up and sell them out to earn money. Okay, so the writer says that he searches for gold ironically because although the garbage dumps is full of useless thrown away things, फेंकी हुई चीज़ों की का ढेर होता है, still he shuffles it so minutely as if he will get something as precious as gold. Okay, the boy's name is Sahib. Okay, later you will get to know the real meaning of it. Okay, his home in Dhaka, was in the middle of the lush green field of Dhaka. They had left it many years ago, and he does not remember it anymore. His mother had told him that there were many storms which destroyed their homes and fields. So they left home and shifted to the city in search of gold. Okay, and the writer again says, looking for gold in the big cities means the gold here refers to something precious which was not available in their hometown. It means they had come from Dhaka to Delhi in search of food, okay, and something valuable that can make them survive. Okay, this is Jinder asking. Things like shoes, money, bags, etc. for the children and food, clothing, shelter means इन बच्चों के लिए शेल्टर, फूड, क्लोथिंग, शेल्टर मीन्स ऑफ सर्वाइवल, दे आर द मीन्स ऑफ सर्वाइवल, जीने के साधन उनके. The boy searches for such precious things in the garbage dumps. Okay. One day the writer questions Sahib and asks him the reason for सर्चिंग थ्रू द गार्बेज कि भाई आखिर क्यों सर्च करते हो, उसने रीजन पूछा. तो ही आंसर्ड, आई हैव नथिंग एल्स टू डू, ही मटर्स लुकिंग अवे. ओके, देन when the writer asked why he did such works, okay, so he clearly answered that he had no other option. बोले और कोई काम तो है नहीं तो ये करूँगा. Mutters means he spoke in very low voice. Okay, go to school, I say glibly. Okay, glibly means glibly. Where is glibly? This one. Glibly means without showing much thought, means without even given much thought. The writer asked the student, advised him to go to school immediately, and immediately she got to know that her advice was quite hollow. Hollow means not sincere, means insincere advice was given to him that he should go to school. Then he said, there is no one in my neighborhood. When they will build one, I'll go. And he promised that there is no school in his neighborhood, or as soon as they stand for, as soon as the government make any school, he will go there. Okay. If I start a school, will you come? I ask, half joking. And then the author asks him, if she started a school, would he come? क्या वो आएगा? अगर मैं स्टार्ट करूँ तो स्कूल आएगा. ओके, ऐसे मजाक करते हुए बोली. तो ही सेड यस, स्माइलिंग ब्रॉडली. यस, बोला हाँ मैं आऊँगा. साहिब रिप्लाइज टू द ऑथर दैट ही हैज़ नथिंग else to do other than rag picking. The writer suggests that he should go to school. She realizes that her advice is meaningless for the poor boy. He replies that there are no schools in the area where he lives. Okay. Uh, he also assures her that he will go to school when one is built near his house. Okay, the writer asks him jokingly that if she opened a school, would he attend it? Okay, then he said yes. He says, smiling broadly. A few days later, I see him running up to me and is your school ready? So after some days, when the author again encountered Sahib, he asked her if whether her school was ready. Okay, then she said embarrassed, embarrassed means ashamed होते हुए बोली, शर्मिंदा होके बोली, it takes longer to build a school. Okay, I say embarrassed at having made a promise that was not meant. Means the author felt herself quite ashamed or blushed of making such a hollow promise. Okay, that cannot be meant एट एनी कॉस्ट, जो पूरा नहीं कर सकती थी. वो वादा करने पर वो उसको बड़ा शर्मिंदा महसूस हुई. ओके, शर्मिंदगी महसूस हुई. बट प्रोमिस लाइक माइन अबाउंड इन हर in every corner of his bleak world. Bleak means not encouraging or dull. Bleak means dull. So in his dull world, such promises are full. Okay, clear. Let us read the literal meaning of this para. Sahib says that he would join the writer's school, and after a few days, he runs up to her, asks whether her school is ready. The writer replied that it takes a lot of time to build a school. She felt ashamed of making a promise. Okay, she has said as a joke and had never intended to open a school. So she felt ashamed of herself. Sai was not hurt because he was used to such false promises as they excited in large numbers in his empty world. He was surrounded by such false promises made by everyone around him. His world was empty as no promise made to Sahib was ever fulfilled. Okay, क्लियर? ऐसे प्रॉमिस खूब हुए हैं जिनको कभी किसी ने पूरा किया ही नहीं है. ओके स्टूडेंट्स. After months of knowing him, I asked him his name, Saib Alam, he announces. He does not know what it means. If he knew its meaning, Lord of the universe, he would have a hard time believing it. Okay, clear? Unaware of what his name represents, he roams the street with his friends, an army of barefoot boys who appears like the morning birds and disappears at noon. Over the months, I have come to recognize each of them. Okay, here writer is saying that she had known Saib for a few months. When she asked him his name, he replied as if he was making an announcement. Okay, that his name was Saib Alam. Okay, the writer thought that the boy did not know the meaning of his name, and if he came to know that his name meant Lord of the Universe, he would not be able to believe it. Okay, his name was opposite to his life. Okay, clear? And this is the irony. This is quite ironical in his name, that his name represents that he is the Lord of Universe and he was simply a rag picker. He went around the street with a group of friends. It was like an army of boys who did not wear any footwear. Okay, they appeared in the morning like the morning birds and disappeared at noon. Okay, clear? The writer could recognize all of them as she had been seeing them for the past few months. Okay. Why aren't you wearing chappals? I ask one. Okay. एक से पूछा कि भाई चप्पल क्यों नहीं पहन रखी. My mother did not bring them down from the shelf. He answers simply. The writer asked one of them why he was not wearing any footwear. The boy simply replied that his mother did not get them down from the shelf. माँ ने shelf से अलमारी से नीचे नहीं उतारी, as they were beyond his reach. Okay, and he did not wear them. Okay, clear answer दिए गए. Okay, even if she did, he will throw them off. Adds another who is wearing shoes that do not match. You can look at the picture. Okay, when I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. I want shoes, says a third boy who has never owned a pair all his life. Traveling across the country, I have seen children walking barefoot in cities, on village roads. It is not lack of money, but a tradition to stay barefoot, is one explanation. I wonder if this is only an excuse to explain away the perpetual state of poverty. Okay. So the group, one of the boy from the group, he replied that if his mother put his chappal down from the shelf, he would not even bother to wear them. Okay, clear? And this boy was wearing shoes that do not match. Okay, then a third boy replied when she asked why he had put on shoes that has no match. Okay, that have no match. So he said nothing, but he shuffles his feet. Okay, clear? Shuffles means to move from one foot to another. Okay, clear? When I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. And the third boy said, I want shoes. Okay, this was the boy who had never owned a pair of shoes in his life. Life में कभी जूते पहने नहीं, ऐसा बच्चा कह रहा है. Then the author wrote, traveling across the country, I have seen children walking barefoot in the cities, on village roads. It is not lack of money but a tradition to stay barefoot is one explanation. The poet here told, sorry, the writer here told us that having traveled across the country, she had seen so many people walking along the roadside, on village roads or on city roads, walking barefoot. Okay, so just to make a simple explanation about this, she said it was just a tradition to remain to stay barefoot. Okay, it was their tradition, but she wonders if this is an excuse to explain away the perpetual, the never-ending state of poverty. Means it was just an excuse that traditionally they stay barefoot, but in reality, it was their extreme poverty, the state of extreme poverty that do not allow them to wear footwear. Okay, students, clear? I remember a story a man Udipi once told me. As a young boy, he would go to school past an old temple where his father was a priest. Okay, here the writer recalled a story. Once a man from uh, Udipi told him, okay, told her, and she recalled that the man. Uh, who told her the story. His father was a priest there in a temple. He would stop briefly at the temple and pray for a pair of shoes. Okay, and the man told the writer that before going to school, he always made a pray to goddess to provide him, to bless him with a pair of shoes. Okay, 30 years later, I visited his town and the temple, which was now drowned in an air of desolation, an air of desolation. Okay, clear? And 30 years later, when the writer got a chance to visit that temple, okay, she found the temple was in utmost desolation. Desolation means a state of ruin or destruction. Means there was no one. Okay, in the backyard where I lived, where I lived, where lived the Aini, where lived the young priest. Okay, there were red and white plastic chairs. A young boy dressed in a grey uniform, wearing socks and shoes, arrived panting. Panting means haapte hue, with out of breath. You can say, okay, and panting. Panting means out of breath. Okay, and threw his bag on the folding bed. Okay, like in the backyard, when the author waited in the backyard, okay, she found their new priest lived. Okay, and there were some red and white plastic chairs, लाल और सफ़ेद plastic chairs भी थी वहाँ पे. A young boy, a little kid came there in grey uniform. Okay, and he had worn socks and shoes. Okay, he came there out of breath. हाँफते हुए आया and threw his school bag, अपना school bag फेंका on a folding bed. Looking at the boy, I remembered the prayer another boy had made to the goddess when he had finally got a pair of shoes. Let me never lose them. Okay, and looking at that boy, the author recalled the moment of the story when the boy told her that he made another prayer to the goddess when he was blessed with a pair of shoes, and he asked the goddess not to lose, not not to let him lose the shoes from him. Okay, the goddess had granted his prayer. Okay, young boys like the son of the priest now wore shoes, and now, but many others like the rag pickers in my neighborhood remain shoeless. Okay, so with this example, or you can say with this story, the writer here tried to explain away the perpetual state of poverty of the boys who lived in her neighborhood. Okay, especially the rag pickers who remain shoeless. Okay, they remain barefoot. Okay, but the mm, young children like the priest had, they wore shoes. Okay, students, clear? My acquaintance with the barefoot rag pickers leads me to Simapuri, a place on the periphery of Delhi, yet miles away from it metaphorically. Okay, acquaintance. Acquaintance means a person that you know, but who is not close, who is not a close friend. Means आप जानते हैं बस उसको. तो her acquaintance with the barefoot rag pickers. Okay, they took her to Simapuri. It is a place on the boundary of Delhi, yet it is on the boundary of Delhi. It is miles away from it. Metaphorically means miles away means it is devoid of the basic uh, basic fundamental needs of or development that the mainstream city life had got. Okay, जो उनको मिली है उनसे बिल्कुल दूर थे. That's why they were miles away. Those who live here are squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. Okay, क्लियर. दोज हु जो भी यहाँ पे रहते हैं वो सब स्क्वेटर्स हैं. और स्क्वेटर्स क्या होते हैं? राइट डाउन द मीनिंग. स्क्वेटर्स मीन्स पर्सनस हु लिव एट अ प्लेस विदाउट पेइंग एनी रेंट. ओके, एंड विदाउट एनी परमिशन. बगैर परमिशन के रहते हैं. तो दे वर ऑल द माइग्रेंट्स फ्रॉम बांग्लादेश से आए हुए ही बांग्लादेशी हैं जो यहाँ रहते हैं. ओके, 1971 में आए थे. साहिब्स फैमिली इज अमंग देम. ओके, सीमापुरी वॉज देन अ विल्डरनेस. Know what wilderness means? Wilderness means under undeveloped area of land जहाँ पे विकास हुआ ही नहीं है. It still is now, अभी भी ऐसा ही है ये. But it is no longer empty. But now it is no longer empty. It is full of houses, cottages, okay, huts, okay. In the structures of mud with roof and tarpaulin, devoid of sewage, drainage and or running water, live 10,000 rag pickers. वो कह रहा है कि in such a condition with no basic amenities, these children were living in the houses made of mud. Okay, मिट्टी से बने हुए घर. रूफ ऑफ टिन एंड तारपुलिन. टिन और तारपुलिन की मोटे कपड़े की कैनवास की जो है उसकी छत से ढके हुए ये घर हैं. Okay, devoid of sewage, there is no facilities of sewage system. Okay, no drainage. Okay, and with running water, there lived there lived more than there lived 10,000 rag pickers. They have lived there here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, but with ration card that get their names on voters list and enable them to buy grain. Okay, and you know they have been living there for the last 30 years. Still, they have no identity, but they have got a ration card with which they are enabled to purchase grain from the stock. Okay, from the groceries. Okay, even their names are also. Food is more important for survival than an identity. Okay, we need food more than the identity, and these rag pickers, they have to survive in such miserable conditions. So food is more important than the identity for them. Okay, clear. With the help of ration card, their names have got enlisted in the voter list. Okay, clear. If at the end of the day we can feed our families and go to bed without an aching stomach, we would rather live here than in the fields that gave us no grain, says a group of women in tattered sari. Okay, the writer was talking with a group of women in tattered. In tattered means torn, fatty, tattered saris. फटी हुई साड़ी पहनी हुई औरतों से बात करती है. तो दे रिप्लाई इफ़ दे आर इफ़ दे कैन फीड देयर फैमिली uh, by the evening, okay, and they have sound sleep in night at night without an aching stomach, okay, clear. Then this place means Delhi is quite a beautiful land for them, instead of the beautiful land of green field of and rivers that gave them no grain. उनका जो देश है ना, जहाँ पे उनको कुछ नहीं मिलता था, उससे अच्छा तो दिल्ली है जहाँ उनको खाने को कुछ मिल जाता है, तो वो अच्छा है उनके लिए. Okay, when I ask why they left their beautiful land of green, okay, field and rivers, wherever they find food, they pitch their tents, and that become transit home, their transit home. Transit means temporary home, homes that provides temporary accommodations, okay. तो wherever they find food, they pitch their tents. जहाँ भी खाना मिलता है वहीं अपना टेंट लगा लेते थे, okay, and that became their transit home. वो उनके transit home बन जाते हैं, okay, clear. And children grow up in them, becoming partners in survival. And survival in Simapuri means rag picking. Through the years, it had acquired the proportion. It has acquired the proportion of a fine art. Garbage to them is gold. Students, it's a important. It is an important line. Garbage to them is gold. Okay. कह रहा है कि चिल्ड्रन जो बच्चे पैदा होते हैं टेंट्स में, दे बिकेम द पार्टनर ऑफ इन देयर सर्वाइवल, ओके, एंड the years toil have made them a skilled artist, so skillful that they have developed the picking rags as an art. It is an art for them, and garbage to them is gold. Why? Because it is their, you can say, their support, है ना. इट इज़ समथिंग दैट सपोर्ट्स देयर लाइफ, ओके. इट इज़ देयर डेली ब्रेड, उनकी रोजी रोटी है. अ रूफ ओवर देयर हेड, ओके, एंड इवन इफ इट इज़ अ लीकिंग रूफ, चाहे बेशक ये लीकिंग रूफ हो, बट फॉर अ चाइल्ड इट इज़ इवन मोर. बट बच्चों के लिए इट इज़ इवन मोर, ओके. सो रैग पिकिंग इज़ क्वाइट इज़ देयर means of survival, okay. I sometimes find a rupee, even a 10 rupee note, Sahib says, his eyes lighting up when when you can find a silver coin in a heap of garbage. You don't stop struggling, for there is hope of finding more. Okay. Then Sahib, uh, at another time, Sahib told the writer that he sometimes found a 10 rupee note, rupee or a 10 rupee note in the garbage, and he explained it that when a person is able to find a silver coin in a heap of garbage, okay, it is but natural that he would not stop searching for something in the hope of getting some more, okay. It seems that for children, garbage has two different meanings. What it means to their parents and elders. Whereas for the writer thinks that garbage has two different meanings for the children and their elders. And what are they? Uh, Students, these are the important lines. I am going to underline them. Okay. Correct? For the children, it is wrapped in wonders, and for the elders, it is their means of survival. Clear? बच्चों के लिए तो क्या है ये? It is wrapped in wonders, as they can find even a rupee, 10 rupee note, okay, and for their elders it is their means of survival, जीने का साधन है ये. Okay students, clear. One morning I see Sahib standing by the fenced gate of the neighborhood club, uh, watching the two young men dressed in white playing tennis. एक दिन क्या देखा? One morning she saw Sahib. Uh, he was standing mm, by the fenced gate, and he was watching two men playing tennis. Okay. I like the game. He hums, content to watch. Content means satisfied. Content to watch it standing behind the fence. Okay, clear. When the writer asked him why he was uh, looking at those boys, those men who were playing in the garden, in the tennis court. So he told the writer that he liked it very much. Okay, he liked the game, but it is quite out of his reach. Okay, then he said, I go, I go inside when there is no one around. No one is around. वो कहता है कि मैं अंदर भी जाता हूँ उस टेनिस कोर्ट में, जब कोई नहीं होता. ही एडमिट्स दैट गेट कीपर लेट्स मी यूज़ द स्विंग. ओके, गेट कीपर जो है ना उसको परमिट्स हिम टू यूज़ द स्विंग. जो झूला होता है ना उसको बोलते हैं. Saib too is wearing tennis shoes that looks strange over his discolored shirt and shorts. Someone gave them to me. Okay. One day when she saw Saib, he was wearing discarded shoes, rejected shoes उसने पहन रखे थे. And he said कि someone gave them to him, किसी ने दिए हैं उसको. He says in a manner of an explanation, the fact that they are the discarded means rejected. They are the rejected shoes of some rich boy. Okay, Keller, who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them. शायद उसने इसलिए रिजेक्ट कर दिए कि उनमें से किसी एक में छेद था. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. और देखो कितनी अच्छी बात है कि क्या कह रहा है कि for one who has never owned a pair of shoes, okay, a shoe with a hole would be समथिंग लाइक हिज ड्रीम हैज़ कम ट्रू. ऐसा है जैसे कि सपना सच हो गया हो, ऐसे जूते लेकर भी. ओके, मीन्स समथिंग इज बेटर देन नथिंग. ओके, बट द गेम ही इज वॉचिंग सो इंटेंटली, सो क्यूरियसली, इज आउट ऑफ हिज रीच. इज आउट ऑफ हिज रीच. This morning, Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. और अब उसके हाथ में क्या था? एक स्टील कैनिस्टर था. आज मिला वो. Now I work in a tea stall down the road. He says उसने कहा कि वो अब काम करता है नीचे, इशारा करते हुए कहा कि एक दुकान पे टी स्टॉल पे काम करता है. पॉइंटिंग इन द डिस्टेंस. आई एम पेड 8 रुपी, 800 रुपी, 800 रुपी एंड ऑल माई मील्स. ओके, does he like the job? I ask. Okay, then on asking how much he is being paid, he has been paid, so he replied that he was paid rupees 800. Okay, and full meal. Clear? And then the writer asked a pertinent question: if he was happy with the job. So his face, he see, he faced, I see, uh, has lost the carefree look. And then when, okay, the steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulder. The bag was his. The canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. Okay, Sahib is no longer his own master. Okay, on asking, when the author asked if he is happy working at the tea stall, he lost his carefree look. Okay, and he told that the steel canister that he was carrying to fetch the milk from the milk booth seemed quite heavier than the plastic bag he would carry on his shoulder, because the canister belonged to the man who owns the tea shop. And clear, clear. Sahib now is no longer his own master. It means Sahib is not able to live his life as per his own condition. He has now uh, become a slave. Clear? Students, this is all from my end. Okay. The next video will be uploaded soon.